So somebody asked me if I'm still happy with my purchase of my Xtrons head unit, which I recently upgraded into my Saab 9.3. So I've been using it for, I don't know, probably around 3 months now, maybe more. And I have to say, I'm extremely happy with it. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. It does exactly what I wanted it to do, and it's fast. Like, consider that I paid £150 for it, and will do more than the most expensive Pioneer radio. Yeah, it's an exceptional piece of kit. So I'm going to show you a few things that it can do whilst I'm here on the road, so you can see how things work real time. But first of all, when I turn the ignition on, it's instantaneously on. It's ready immediately, so there's no waiting for it to boot up. So if I hit navigation, you will see I'm using Waze. Now you can use other things. Waze obviously requires an internet connection, which I'm feeding it at the moment. If you didn't want to feed it an internet connection and you want to do it offline, you can use Google Maps offline. You can use TomTom. I actually have a subscription to TomTom, but I just don't like it anymore. But that works offline. But the fact is, if you want to have live updates for traffic and road closures, accidents, and that kind of thing, you need to have it online. And Waze is by far the best app, and it's free. I highly recommend it. Two other features of the radio. So if I go home, I can click on Spotify. Now I use Spotify. Realistically, you can use whatever you want. If you've got YouTube Premium, you can run that as well, or any other app for that matter for audio. But specific thing that I like about Spotify is if I go to my like songs, or if I go to any playlist, there's an option to download the track. So there's this green switch here which says download songs, and that simply means that I can download all my music. I only have the thing on the head unit online once, and I can download all my tracks into Spotify and listen to it offline. I think you have to connect it to the internet once every 30 days, so once every month. It's not the end of the world. It's so simple to connect your head unit to the internet, via hotspot. So just do that. Now, say I was going to listen to some music. Press play. Now, obviously, there are steering wheel controls, so I can control the volume and the tracks using the buttons on my steering wheel, as you would expect from an aftermarket head unit, which is any good. Obviously, you don't want to be looking at Spotify whilst you're driving, so you can just literally go back to navigation, and you can listen to your music whilst you're navigating, and you can still change tracks, and you can still adjust the volume whilst you're navigating. Now, obviously, as it's a Android head unit, you can install whatever apps that you want to your heart's content. That means if you want Netflix or Amazon Prime Video or anything you want, any games you want, anything can go on it. So as you can see, the image on it is quite clear. One of the things that I would say is a negative point is when I have the roof down on this convertible. It's very, very bright, and the glare off of the glossy screen essentially makes it very, very difficult to see. I mean, you can still see it, so don't get me wrong, you 100% can still see it, but it's just it's a bit of a pain in the arse. But that is the same with any head unit which uses a large touch screen. So now I'm going to show you one of the other features. So obviously I can pop my car into reverse, and I can reverse using the you can use the reverse camera to park, and that is obviously another useful feature. Now, this radio actually came free with that reverse camera and the wiring for it for 150 quid, which is an exceptional value for money. Especially consider it can do anything that one of the much more expensive brand named head units can do. The Bluetooth functionality primarily is used by me to make and receive phone calls. So you get in the car, it automatically connects to your phone for Bluetooth and for Wi-Fi. You can make hands-free calls. That being said, you can also use the Bluetooth for streaming audio. So if you wanted to not use Spotify on the head unit for whatever reason, and you wanted to instead play it on your phone, totally fine. There's a Bluetooth functionality to do just that as well. So I would advise against it. Some people do buy it for that function, but it's pointless because the head unit actually has Spotify built into it, and it's just better if you use that. If you do use Spotify on your phone though, or any other app for that matter, the steering wheel controls will still control the tracks for you. You still have that functionality. I hope that answers any questions that you might have. It is an excellent unit.